I pressed the button.
Welcome back to the dimecomicbros podcast.
Wow, he's just rolling into it with
we haven't done sound check yet.
No pre-roll memes. Yeah, it's fine.
Welcome back to the dimecomicbros podcast.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Welcome back to the dimecomicbros podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Collin, joined by Jacob, Fucktard, and Spencer, Gayballs.
He said tard.
He actually called himself a co-host for once.
I know.
This is an absolute win. Collin is knowing his place within the triangle.
Oh, fuck you. I'm the host.
No, you're not.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.
It is a news week, and it's fairly small, unlike our previous news episode.
He is the parasite on the host.
True. Whereas we were covering San Diego Comic-Con and had to spend like an hour.
Do you have any coffee in there, or is that just straight milk?
Dude, fucking I love milk.
It's Collin. What do you think? Of course it's milk.
It's like coffee milk. He makes it himself.
Oh, I'm sure he makes the cream himself.
Oh, I can make cream.
Oh, yeah.
From The Hollywood Reporter, it's official. The Flash's upcoming 9th season will be its last.
Finally.
The CW on Monday announced that its Grant Gustin-led DC Comics superhero drama from Warner Bros. TV and Greg Berlanti Productions will end with a 13-episode final run. The conclusion of one of the network's most watched shows will air in 2023 as part of its mid-season roster. Finally. Closure. Exactly.
I hated that show ever since season 2.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
suit
pretty much.
does look pretty good these days, to be fair, but it's like the only thing that looks good. Everything else is
I don't
really
think
bad.
any of the suits look good.
I think
Most of them I'm not a fan
the
of.
problem with the show is in the news bit that we just read. It's a superhero drama. That's
Yeah.
not... We don't want CW shit in our superhero stuff.
But to be fair, at least it's only a 13-episode season, so maybe they'll crunch all the budget in. They'll shove the budget, 2 episodes into 1 episode, and maybe it won't look like absolute garbage.
It's CW. Do you really think there's a budget?
Sometimes it doesn't look the worst. Maybe.
From CBR.com, Moon Knight executive producer director Mohammed Diab.
Diab.
Moon Knight executive producer / director Mohammed Diab and star Oscar Isaac have seemingly announced season 2 of the Disney Plus series. Diab's daughter recently posted a video to TikTok that shows her father sitting next to the star of the Marvel Cinematic Universe show. In the video, she asks for the question on everyone's mind, whether the popular series will receive a second season. Quote, why else would we be in Cairo. I don't know any of these names.
Collin needs to go back to Sunday school.
Oh, yeah.
Cairo is the capital of Egypt.
I don't fucking know. Isaac answers before the footage ends. Why else would we be in Cairo?
I'm pretty sure this is the best thing TikTok has ever done, and
True.
even then, it's still kind of shady.
It's a mildly lame reveal, but considering all the junk for the past couple of weeks coming out of Hall H and stuff, this was probably a pretty darn recent thing. Like, they just got into their Airbnb yesterday to start writing or whatever, so.
Yeah.
Cool. It's gonna be a while.
Marvel announced She-Hulk. Sorry. Mommy... Yeah.
Freudian slip.
Mommy.
See?
She-Hulk. Mommy. At law.
That's what I was trying to do, and I was like, no, behave, and then it slipped anyway. Marvel announced She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, would be airing all episodes on Thursdays, starting with the previously announced August 18th premiere.
Ooh.
Glad that we're...
Mommy Hulk. She-Mommy.
It's nice that we're getting a different premiere date for all the shows between Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, so it's not everything dropping all at once.
She-Hulk, Muscle Mommy at Law.
Hey. From MSN.com,
That
Marvel...
was what I was gonna do.
Muscle Mommy.
But I couldn't come up with Muscle Mommy.
You just went Mommy.
It's just Mommy.
Mommy.
Oh, dude, that's
Oh, I will fucking do it.
Mommy. What?
That's what you do every week.
No, I don't do in that voice.
From
mother.
From MSN.com, Marvel's two Captain America heroes will reunite for a new Cold War crossover launching in 2023. Marvel announced a new crossover event, Cold War, which brings Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson back together for a new mission. The secret origin of Steve's shield, the revenge of White Wolf and Crossbones, and the return of Nomad. But which one? Marvel teased of the event. All roads lead to Cold War, a new Captain America event kicking off in spring 2023. I'm reading this.
I have no idea about most of that.
I
don't know White Wolf and Crossbones. No, I do know Crossbones, but I don't know Nomad, and that there's multiples. I'm lost already.
I've been following it somewhat consistently since they sorted out all the Secret Empire stuff and Steve went back to being normal and whatever. It's been pretty cool. So it's nice just getting a small crossover. None of this whole publisher crossover shit.
I didn't know it was a small crossover.
Yeah, it's just the two Captain America lines.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
That's great.
They do that a lot, to be fair, because they've had two lines running for like 6 years now.
I guess that's kind of what they did with Star Wars and Darth Vader too.
Yeah, and then they
Really
keep
small
adding
stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
like
they
it's
did
a couple of
bunch.
issues and that's it.
Netflix released the trailer for the final season of Lock and Key, streaming exclusively on Netflix August 10th.
By the time this episode is up, it will already be out. That's how quickly they're dropping this thing. They dropped the trailer like a week before it's coming. It's insane. This thing has had a tiny, tiny turnaround, and I'm not sure why.
Collin doesn't drop a trailer before he's coming.
I just go.
You're exaggerating. It doesn't go that long.
Oof.
Yeah, it does. Fucker.
I'm cutting most of that probably.
I think they're just realizing that the actors are really, really, really starting to age, and they just need to bang it out and get it over with. I think.
Need to bang it out.
They're all over 18, it's fine. Except the literal child. Dude, the actor who plays the 16-year-old is like 35. He's old. It's fine. Collin, shut up. But to be fair, at least Demon Well Lady, who is a dude who's a girl, is like not.
Yes.
Also, they're coming back, so that's weird. Time travel key.
I'm coming on your back.
Shut up!
Disney Plus and Lucasfilm released the first trailer and a new poster for Andor Season 1. It was also announced that Andor will now premiere September 21st with a premiere of 3 episodes, with subsequent episodes following every Wednesday. How long is
9
the
episodes,
show?
and they
So
confirmed they're doing 2 seasons, and that's it.
They're dropping
Oh.
a third of the season.
Yes.
First day.
But that's basically what they did with Bad Batch. That first episode was like almost 2 hours long.
Yes.
So this show looks like what George Lucas's Underworld show was supposed to look like.
A little bit.
Like better. Obviously,
Yeah.
this is not what it would have looked like, but the idea of it entirely
Yeah.
is very similar in the fact that we're seeing quite literally the underworld of democracy.
Yeah, the cool part is that, like, everyone was like, why do we need Rogue One? This is dumb. And then it ended up being one of the best Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how this is also like, nobody was really asking for this, and it's probably going to be one of the better Disney Plus shows.
It
Yes.
does look really good.
They're
I'm
not
nervous.
using the technology. They're doing real sets. Sorry.
Oh my fucking word, you autistic bitch.
The fact that they're acknowledging they don't know how to use the technology well enough to do it well is a big W, because they don't have Greg Fraser, who worked on The Mandalorian.
Greg Fraser!
He basically invented the technology.
Greg Fraser!
As I was saying, it looks really good, and I'm tired of saying that and being disappointed.
True.
Yes.
This is true.
Uh-oh.
I do think if this...
Nope.
I was waiting for the shit rocket to hit the microphone.
I'm glad that they have a plan for this show, and they want to do 2 seasons, and they're kind of done with it after that. I'm sure they'll have a pretty short turnaround as well. It's nice hearing about an actual plan, and it's actually like a season of television.
The trailer feels like a movie trailer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I really like that.
It doesn't look like a TV show budget.
Yeah.
Collin, can you do this one so I can do the Batgirl stuff after?
Ah, fucker. Okay.
You gotta quit cocaine.
From CBR.com, Seth Rogen has revealed the official title and new release date for his upcoming animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Quote, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem is in theaters 1 year from today. End quote. Rogen posted on August 4th, 2022 from his personal Twitter account. He also included a photo of an art installation revealing the film's logo complete with ooze. Mutant Mayhem will be the 7th
Theatrical.
I know.
You're so
I
autistic.
know.
We need to give him like way more caffeine in the mornings.
Shut up. Mutant Mayhem will be the 7th theatrical Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, as well as the first theatrical animated film starring Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael since 2007's TMNT. Holy shit, that's true! Oh my fucking word!
You're old.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
getting old.
I loved that movie. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film was announced to be in development at Nickelodeon Animation Studio in June 2020. Jeff Rowe, best known for co-directing The Mitchells vs. the Machines, will direct the film from a screenplay by Brendan O'Brien. Rogen will produce alongside Evan Goldberg and James Weaver through the company Point Grey Pictures. No casting has been announced for Mutant Mayhem at this time, but Rogen previously revealed in June 2021 that the 4 turtles will be voiced by teenagers instead of adult actors. Huh.
So I remember when this was announced, and it was people were like, yeah, Rogen.
Yeah.
What are Ninja Turtles if not stoners but for kids?
Oh yeah, no, Seth Rogen's a fucking perfect pick. I'm just a little worried about teenage actors.
I'm actually more interested in that because this is the thing. Whenever I revisit the, especially TMNT from 2007, the celebrity voice cast is really distracting for me because it's half of them are people who have done the turtle voices before, either from other movies or the TV shows, and then the other half is like Chris Evans. It's too distracting, and actual teenagers will be nice, so they don't sound like they're 27. You know, the logo looks nice. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. I just want to know whether or not it's 2D or 3D. It's probably going to be 3D, but
I would really like.
what if it was 2D? That would be sick.
I hope it's 2D because
I do too.
I like Ninja Turtles as 2D. The only time I really liked it as 3D was like
The
actually the only 2 times it's happened.
2007 and 2012.
2007 in the show.
Yeah,
those are the only 2 times.
Yeah,
And those worked really well, actually.
They did.
They could do 3D, and I'd be fine.
they did. It's just a matter of like budget because you need to do a lot of like texturing for those models to like work. And that was the thing with the 2012 show was towards the end of its lifespan, it started looking cheaper.
Well, no, it was always kind of like that, though.
It was always a little like
I started
toy-like.
I started rewatching it, and yeah, it's still like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. They look like the toys, which I think was the point. I mean,
Yeah,
those
'cause
were
they
some
look like toys.
Those were nice toys. The 2012 show had really good toys.
I never had those ones. I actually had 2007's like Leonardo.
Really?
Yeah.
I just rewatched that one not that long ago, and I like the designs, but I don't like the fact that it's just a like unconnected mystical threat. I don't like that. That bothered me. But the designs
I'm
were
okay
nice.
with that. I also really like that it was just a standalone movie.
That was cool.
You could connect it to almost any of the universes,
Right.
And it's fine.
That's usually when Turtles is at its best.
Yeah, like I like how Leonardo was off being pretentious and trying to be like a better leader, even though he was literally fine. That's the whole point. Is he was fine. He didn't have to leave, and that was Raph's problem. And Raph is being just a badass fucking vigilante. I loved him as that.
Big metal turtle armor.
And then Donatello's doing whatever Donatello's doing.
I don't even remember what Donatello was
No, me
doing.
neither. But I know that Mikey was being
a party
dressing
mascot.
up as himself and being like a little party animatronic dude.
That was fun.
Mascot. That's the word I'm looking for.
Mascot, yes. And then the last bit of news. I am lazy and I forgot to send it last night, so I'm just gonna spit it off the top of my head. So apologies. So with the new Warner Bros. And Discovery merger / buyout finally going through, the new heads of all the different departments are working on merging the Discovery app and HBO Max HBO Max is going to start dying. They're getting rid of a lot of original programming. And then along with that, there's a few movies that were canceled that were in post-production, one of which was a Scooby...
HBO Max is dying?
Yeah, it's a long story. One of them was a Scooby-Doo sequel, and then the big one was the $90 million Batgirl movie, which was in like the middle of post-production. They canceled it, and they're doing it as a tax write-down. So basically, they legally can't release the film on the streaming service or on cinema screens. So they make a guaranteed $20 million on top of what they paid for it.
Pieces of fucking shit.
And they announced that to the cast and crew when they announced it to the public. They didn't send... They just... You wake up one day, open up Twitter, and you find out you don't have a job anymore. They also canceled the Wonder Twins movie, which I don't think any of us were really caring about. That one wasn't even in pre-production, so...
Whatever.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this one. This is really freaking stupid. This is what happens when you do art for profit.
Yeah.
Profit takes the cake.
So can they go straight to DVD?
No, they can't release it. They legally can't. They will get sued.
How long before you think it gets leaked?
That's the thing, is everyone's calling for some intern to leak it, which, to be fair, that's very dangerous. Like, if it's not like a intentional marketing leak, like for No Way Home's shitty marketing, when it's like a real leak, like that can get you blacklisted from like the entire like film world, potentially, and also get you sued into oblivion. But,
Collin,
yeah,
we need you to take one for the team.
Oh God, they did state that the Flash is still getting released. James Gunn has said that Peacemaker season 2 is safe.
Woo!
And no one's heard anything about Blue Beetle, so danger.
They're taking him away from us.
They'd better not
taking my boy!
I'm just more disappointed that we didn't get to see Brendan Fraser. Like, I wasn't super stoked on all the Michael Keaton Batman crap. That was kind of bothering me, but finally getting an actual Batgirl movie. The actress was phenomenal. Like, look, at least visually for the role. And Brendan Fraser as Firefly. Like, come on. They're taking his happiness away from us.
Yeah. That made me very angry when I found that on Twitter.
You can't stop the Brendan Fraser revolution. It is coming for all of us.
Can't do it.
Very sad.
Can't do it. Release Brendan Fraser cut.
No, it's just release Batgirl. There's already a hashtag. We're already on it, Collin. I swear.
I know.
So, Collin.
Yeah.
Does Collin need more caffeine? There's more caffeine in
there. There is caffeine.
I know.
In the IV bag over there.
I think I'm okay.
Whoa.
We'll see. Disgusting. You don't fucking do that ever again, you fucking disgusting.
What the fuck accent was that?
Disgusting!
Collin, what have you been up to? Have you read or watched anything you want to tell us about, like we do every single fucking week?
Turn around and grab Halloween Boy, fucker.
Where is it?
What is a Halloween Boy?
Thank you.
The spine is so small, there's no print on it. You were so close!
Yes, there is. Fucker.
You see, Collin's wearing his glasses so he can actually see it.
Halloween Boy. The Last of the Halloween Boys, Part 1. Written and drawn by Davey Baker. Halloween Boy is the greatest archaeologic... Fuck!
Why are there cummies on the back cover?
I don't know what happened to that. Every time that I put a comic in my backpack, this happens. It bothers
Stop
me
coming into your backpack.
So, Halloween Boy is the greatest archaeologist for hire, super scientist, and warlock that the globe has ever seen. His daily existence is the impossible. His average solution is the unimaginable. However, when a routine artifact rescue mission goes wrong, the man known as the demon who lives will be forced to question everything he knows about himself in a thrilling science adventure serial titled The Last of the Halloween Boys, Part 1. So, I discovered this comic through TikTok.
Oh, God.
And it's amazing because I love this artist now. He also writes... he has 2 comics called Shitty Watchmen and Shitty The Dark Knight Returns. And it's just the whole books, but it's in his art style instead.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool. This is a self-publishing self-everything artist that I found on TikTok, and he created this character called Halloween Boy, who is inspired and based off of, in some ways, the Phantom. And so the story just takes place, obviously, as just a regular mission for Halloween Boy, and he fights all these bad guys. He gets a new friend while he's looking for this artifact, and eventually they escape this army of spiders by using a candle sword, and the what does he call it? He uses a candle sword and the 13 brothers of Eleuthera, the 13 monks, the 13 brothers, which are like these floating mystical knives that he uses to kill things or break through barriers or stuff like that. And he finds the artifact, escapes all the bad guys, finds a new friend, brings the artifact to the culture that it rightfully belongs to, and he discovers that this artifact is used to help the culture remember who their ancestors are. It's a way of connecting to their ancestors. And so they tried using it on the girl, and she's like, it doesn't work for me. And they said, well, it works for you and it also doesn't work for you at the same time. Mystical bullshit. But then it works on Halloween Boy, and
he was adopted.
And it shows different it looks like multiverse versions of him, because his origin is that. Excuse me, I forgot to write it down. I gotta look for.
Excuse me.
His origin is that he was born on this giant floating island in space called Hades Island, and he was trained from a young age and was just called child until he got this test where he had to either kill this dog or let this family die in the other room type of situation. And so he decided, well, this is an impossible task. I want to figure it out with the most impossible solution. And so he figured out a way to save the dog and the 4 people in the other room. And at that point, the Hades Island dubbed him Halloween Boy. And then he began his whole mission in life. But with further using the crystal, he's discovering what his heritage is, because he's like, well, if I do so many things, maybe my parents will come back, because he thinks this is all about it's like a family business type of thing, and his parents are just testing him, and they won't come back until he's done something right. But the theory is that he's a clone, and they're just all clones of one person from the next and the next. But that's kind of how it ends. But this comic's really cool because it has these pages where you have the islands, and then there's little rooms that you can go through. They're not that detailed, but they're still cool nonetheless. And the whole island is floating because it's generated by this computer that has 3 brains. It's giant-ass brains.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yes. And I don't know, this comic's really fucking cool. I really liked it because the artist doesn't use ink, it's just all pencils and stuff.
Ooh.
And it's all pencils, and then he scans it in, and then he just uses one color and just goes through and highlights certain things or whatever.
That's cool. How much did you pay for it?
So this is technically issue 1. I
Yeah.
paid $15 for this. And I think it's a good steal. I think it's really cool. Because there's just a lot of
issue.
There's just really cool art pages. I love the art in this so much because it can be so simple, but still you know exactly what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's not just the simple silhouette shape, and then you see ears or something like that. Oh wait, let me show you. Oh wait, look, that's the candle sword.
Oh, that's really cool.
It is really cool. This comic's really cool.
It looks like a dick
When
ball.
issue 2?
I actually got to talk to him because
On the telephone?
no over
DMs.
over DMs. I wish over telephone. So what happened was, I shared this on Instagram and Twitter, and he retweeted me and shared it on Instagram. And so I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he's like, "No, thank you." And I was just telling him blah blah. I really like this comic and stuff like that.
Colin's making
And
friends.
I'm like, I can't wait till issue 2, and he's like, "Well, you're in luck, buddy. I just finished issue 2, and I'm working on the cover right now." And he sends a photo of the cover,
Oh my
which I
gosh.
don't think is anywhere else. It's just said to me. I'm like, I'm like, damn. I need to work on the cover of my comic. I haven't done anything. And he's like, you gotta get going, buddy.
Bruh.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. But Davey Baker is really cool. I also
nice.
bought another comic called Action Hospital.
Wholesome.
This is
Oh!
this is the first hot scoop Dime Comic Bros has ever had. Is the unreleased cover of issue 2 for a comic.
Yeah! Yeah, pretty much. Also, it's signed.
Aww.
Yeah. At first I was like, wait, is this just a part of it? And then I looked at the back, it's bled through. I'm like, yeah, it's real.
Nice.
Yeah, Halloween Boys, a 10 out of 10 for me. It's really cool.
Nice.
Oh, I do need to say one more thing. In the back, there's a whole thing of like talking about what the comic was inspired by, how it's written, because it's about, he wants to like dive into like family traumas and like being like you need to feel connected to your family and stuff like that, and how it's based off the Phantom and old drawings, stuff like that, because he tried getting I wouldn't say the rights, but for lack of a better term, tried getting the rights to write a screenplay for a new Phantom movie or comic, and they ultimately shut him down.
Oh.
So he's vicariously living through, not vicariously, but he's living out that
do
like
it myself.
dream. Yeah, basically doing it himself.
The legally different, but the same.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
really good. You guys should check this out.
I probably am going to steal it from you.
Good.
Literally. I will steal it and never give it back. You'll never know it was me.
I'll kill you.
You'll forget that we had this conversation.
No.
Yeah, you will.
No.
Jakob,
Eh.
what you do? Oh, you're gonna talk about that before me.
Yeah. Get good. I read The Department of Truth, Volume 2, The City Upon a Hill. It collects The Department of Truth, issues 8 through 13. It follows the main character, Cole. I got his name.
Cole.
He's introduced to an old guy. He's been in the business for a long, long time. And he's kind of
What kind of business? The Sloppy Joe kind of business?
kind of like Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black. He's just the grouchy, crusty old guy that's been
Nice.
around the block. You know what I mean?
I love old crusty men.
I'm sure you do. Just love those
Just-
crusties. The more crusties on them, the better.
Yeah, dude, it's like a glazed donut.
I would think it's like a butter. I would think it's like a butter crunch donut because of all the crusties and crunchies.
Good. It was good. Like a glazed donut.
This book goes into some conspiracies I didn't know about, like
Really?
the freaking airport in Colorado. I didn't know anything about that thing.
Oh! This might actually be cool.
But it also had 2 or 3 issues in a row about Bigfoot, and that was a lot of
Hot.
fun.
Yeah. I really like the way that they drew Bigfoot.
Yeah. So, the thing that I didn't understand from the first book, and I finally got in this one, just about talking about the first one and then reading this one, like just having more context, is that the department... Conspiracies are made because of how many people believe in them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so the Department of Truth is trying to squash how many people believe in a thing because then it becomes real. Which is kind of a dumb premise if I get a whole cult of people to think I'm going to be the richest man on Earth. I'm not going to suddenly wake up on a bed of money. That's not how the universe works.
It's kind of like
that's how this
it's kind of like how
universe
fairies work, right?
Something
Where,
like that.
If you say I don't believe in fairies, one dies, stuff like that.
Kinda, but that's how this universe works.
But
That's kind of cool. That's kind of how Chainsaw Man works.
that is the rules set in this universe, so I'm willing to roll with it.
You better.
It's just, yeah, I better.
I want to read this now.
Because it is so much fun. Conspiracies are fun. It also wraps up with demon pentagram face guy that's been chasing Cole since his childhood, and it doesn't wrap up 100%, and it leaves you hanging, and Spencer and I are dying for more, and apparently Volume 3 goes in a different direction, so yay.
Yeah, Jacob beat me to this because I read it first because I'm better than you.
And I reviewed it first because I'm better than you.
Yeah, well, you stole my book and then you went and bought your own copy.
On the same day that I borrowed yours.
That's retarded.
Cover price is $17. I spent $13. $4 savings, not bad.
Was it used or just from Bull Moose in general?
That is a good question. It doesn't say used, so I'm gonna assume it was just normal.
Nice.
I'm gonna assume that your mom's normal.
Banger.
That would be a bad assumption.
That is definitely a bad assumption. Off the record, my favorite moment in that book is the Bigfoot story. Mostly because I read all of the journals that go along with it. They're hard to read, obviously.
They are.
But I really liked how they used, instead of using the bigger and more like dangerous conspiracies to go over like how it can ruin your fucking life, it went with one of the smaller, more silly ones. So it doesn't get too uncomfy, but it's still uncomfy. I just really liked like the end of that one where it's like, they didn't have to kill him. It's like, no, you can. You're fine. Like, go home. That was nice.
Wesley sent me to horny jail
Good.
on Twitter.
There
Mark
was
Millar, man.
a normie YouTube channel that I still ashamedly watch sometimes, and they had they were talking about inappropriate comic stories, and they brought up the Ultimate Somethings a couple of times. It was like, wow.
Yeah, the thing with the Ultimate Universe was that it had two major like head writers. You had Brian Michael Bendis, and then you had Mark Millar, who are entirely different, and they didn't plan well together. And Mark Millar is edgy as hell, and Bendis is fairly wholesome for the most part. So
Like, he
they
uses
didn't
his edginess for a reason.
Yeah, when he does it. Mark Millar is up and down in terms of quality, and then he fell off, and then Jeff Loeb came on, and then this is getting cut. But Ultimatum, you know how that happened. Yeah. Ultimatum, that whole thing. Yeah. That was when like the first time the Marvel Universe like died. When it was Magneto basically wiped out like all the heroes. He turned Doctor Strange inside out, like all sorts of fucked up shit. Huh. You've seen a lot of fucked up panels from it. It's a horrible story, but that was right after Jeff Loeb's son died. So it's like the one freebie he gets, but Jeff Loeb has continued getting worse, and he's also been outed as like a massive piece of shit, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, so
you know
what?
Who was a Nazi collaborator?
Who?
Hergé.
What?
Do you know who Hergé is?
No.
The creator of Tintin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a Nazi collaborator.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not. It was more like he was kind of forced into Nazi propaganda for Tintin.
Yeah, I do remember that. So was Arnold Schwarzenegger's dad.
You know where I learned that from?
TikTok.
Deep Cuts.
Wow.
By Davey Baker.
I'm impressed.
Spencer, what have you done this week?
So since you covered Department of Truth, I'm gonna do that later.
Get naked.
I read.
What? What?
Get naked.
What?
Get naked.
It's a good one. It's a classic.
What the fuck? How fucking old are you?
Older than you.
Old enough to be your dad.
In some countries, that's true.
No? I would have been 8 years old.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hit puberty.
No.
Sometimes.
I did not hit puberty.
Not this man.
No.
I haven't still yet.
I did not have hairy balls at 8.
Good to know. So I read Deadpool Kills Deadpool, which is the third part of the Deadpool killology. So it's Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool Killustrated, and then Deadpool Kills Deadpool. So this is where that alternate Deadpool, who is now called Dreadpool, intersects with the Marvel 616 universe, kind of.
Yay.
So it's a 4-issue miniseries that came out in 2013, again written by Collin Bunn, pencils by Salvador Espin. So Dreadpool goes around, and now that he's killed all of his universe and many other universes, he has killed the Ideas verse. Now, because his plan still isn't working, because he's just insane, he has to go kill all Deadpools because he believes that because he's the only one who sees the fourth wall, he is the progenitor of all things. Deadpool is, you know? So he wants to go around and kill every single Deadpool that's ever existed. Do you guys know about the Deadpool Corps? They're a group of time-traveling Deadpools.
Yes.
It's
Lady Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool,
Yes.
Kid Deadpool,
Yes.
Dogpool, and another one who I don't remember.
Why is this starting to sound like a bad Rick and Morty episode?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
So this was a really rough period of time for Deadpool comics, in my opinion. This was peak internet meme fart humor. This was like the beginning of that era, the early 2010s up until pretty recently, where it became the movies fed into the comics too much, and they just kind of digressed into meme fodder. But the Deadpool Corps are a thing, which I do like. I've read their books. They're fun.
How do you spell fodder?
Fodder, Fodder.
Okay, because I say fodder to my dad.
Fodder, I know.
Like fodder.
Yes. So the Deadpool Corps recruits 616 Deadpool to go help them kill Dreadpool. This is 4 issues of nonstop action, and that is like a big L for this one. It was cool that this story finally intersected with main Deadpool, because most Deadpool stories are so freaking weird and off in their own universe that it doesn't really matter that they happen with 616 Deadpool. The Deadpool Corps was fun. They die. This is like the end of the Deadpool Corps. They pretty much all die. They meet a bunch of other Deadpools. We got Pirate Deadpools, the classic Pirate Deadpool. There's a Panda Deadpool. There's a Galactapool. That was really funny. This was fine. I like the concept of finally ending this version of Dreadpool with being killed by like main Deadpool. I like that as an idea, but the writing here was really boring. Like, the characters were all fine. It was mostly just quips and chimichanga jokes. Like, none of the Deadpools felt like they had unique voices,
I love
which is
chimichangas.
yeah. Like that's the thing with Deadpool, is when there's alternate Deadpools, they should feel different. They should feel like they were written by different writers. They have a different tone to them, even though I do read all of them with Ryan Reynolds' voice. The art was pretty solid. It's a lot more colorful and a lot more early 2010s. So this was definitely like all digital, bright, vibrant. It was fine. I paid $20 for this off of Amazon. It's harder to get in stores for some reason. I'm not sure why. I would recommend finding like a 50% off sale. Like $10 is fine. It's 4 issues. I had fun with it. I'm glad the story is over. It's a decent enough conclusion, I guess.
Are these Collin Bunn books not collected?
I think they are, but the reason why I'm not buying them in there, because I believe it's a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe Omnibus, has all 3 stories. But the reason why I didn't do that is because every 5 minutes, they pump out another one of these fuckers. Not necessarily in the same universe, but another Collin Bunn miniseries. He seems to really strive on those when it comes to Deadpool. So I don't like, not when it's not complete and it keeps getting added onto, it bothers me. Like when we had
So you're waiting for Collin Bunn to die.
No, I'm just going to buy the individual ones. Like when you get, say we had the Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb Batman Omnibus, and then 5 minutes later, right, sadly before Tim Sale died, they came out with a little special. That was really annoying, because it's not actually complete anymore. I don't know, like $10 is fine. It was 20 minutes. I took a big poop. That's really it. Collin.
So I recently read Busick and Ross's
Kurt
Marvels.
Busiek. Alex Ross.
Da Marvels.
I think it's just Marvels.
It's just Marvels.
just Marvels.
There is a The Marvels
I
right
know.
now, which is also being headed up by Alex Ross, but it's more about his original idea for this book,
Yes.
which I haven't
So-
touched at all.
The Marvels is kind of like...
Nope.
It's just Marvels.
Just Marvels. Because, as we were saying, there is a The Marvels.
Marvels
Thank you.
is written by Busick and drawn by Ross. And it's kind of like this... a lot of it... It's like a book that's... How do I explain it? It's kind of like the life of Spider-Man, life story of Spider-Man, where it's like some of the big events in Marvel is they're put together in almost a chronological order. Like, so we first see the first ever Human Torch, who's a robot, battle out Namor, which I don't even still know a lot about.
You should read the
And they
old
keep
Namor
going-
stuff. It's really good.
I might, because I always thought he was a bad guy growing up.
He is.
And this whole thing is like he goes back
On his
and forth.
best days, he's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
He's-
like, it's like-
he's done genocide.
Yeah, because it's like back and forth, and there's even a time in this comic where he's like invading New York, but he's not killing any people. But if anything, he's doing property damage, and he's like paying for it later, which is so strange. But whatever. It begins in like the 1930s. See the invention of the first ever superhero, who was the original Human Torch, and we follow this character named Philip. I can't remember his name. It's a new character, Philip something. Well, we're just gonna go with calling him Philip,
Bill.
and he's a photographer and somewhat of a writer sometimes, and he takes photos of these characters that he calls Marvels, which are just any superheroes and villains in this whole universe. And it just goes through the years, where he sees... there's this one superhero where it literally looks like Superman, and I don't know who it is.
Let me see.
All blue with a red cape.
That one I couldn't figure out either. I'm not sure what that one was.
I don't know what that is. It just looks like Superman, which is weird.
Saucy.
So they keep going back and forth on if the Marvels are good or bad, but eventually Namor and the Human Torch, even though they fought all around New York, they became like war heroes fighting in World War II, and then we see Captain America, where people love Captain America because he's an American superhero. He's literally America's flag, so everyone trusts him so much more than these other two just whatevers, these other two Marvels. And as it keeps going, he's not young for long. He gets married to this girl finally, even though he's being a little cuck and not wanting to be with her because he wants to wait for the Marvels to end, even though it's not going to, because he's just a little scared cucky boy. He loses an eye because he stopped being a cucky boy and went on the roof during one of the last Namor versus Human Torch fights. They talk about the X-Men in this a little bit, and I have to agree with Jacob that there's not that much, and I think there should be more. So in this comic, it just talks about Marvels from like a outsider perspective. Like this whole time you hear about battles and like characters, but you don't know them. It's not like you know them personally like how you would in a normal superhero comic book, because the superhero comic books are about the superheroes. This is just we see some dude's perspective, and I think that's kind of cool, but I actually think it went on too long. Even though it does make a full circle and the whole story's coherent at the very end and makes sense, but I just think it lasted too long, and I don't like that.
I think it was originally designed to have one less issue. I think somewhere in the book, one of the articles they published was about that.
But I wish there was more about the X-Men, because that seems super compelling and just interesting. And also, the first shot we see of the X-Men is so fucking cool, where they're all lit up by Cyclops' like eye. It's not like it's this laser. It's not his like laser beam, because it's not activated. It's the glowing red eyes. And
I love the alternate suits.
Yes.
Like Vision there.
Oh, that's
looks
Vision?
so unique.
Oh, I didn't know that was Vision.
Punisher. Or no, that's the Destroyer.
Yes.
I don't know who the Destroyer is. Oh, that's Black Widow.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Then who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Yeah, this is
and
all
the 2 Human Torches.
This is all really old stuff.
I didn't know that's who those guys were. I had no idea who they were.
I don't know who that one is either. Kind of looks like Batgirl. But that's the wrong universe.
But that's also a dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's it really?
Yeah, look at the crotch.
We're cock
Oh,
and
wait.
ball.
Maybe they just don't have boobs. That's a girl. Anyway, I do really like this comic. I just really... It feels like every time I pick up an Alex Ross comic, and I'm expecting to see stuff about superheroes, it's always from the perspective of someone else and not actually superheroes.
It's
or
grounded.
barely any superheroes. And it bothers me because I love Alex Ross's comics. And it's just everything does seem boring because we're not seeing superhero stuff. We're just seeing like normal people kind of what you could call normal human stuff in this comic. Oh, but I do love how the Fantastic Four was done. I really like seeing them fight Galactus and also Silver Surfer. That was really fucking cool, especially looking through the big book that Jacob let me borrow for the Marvels.
Jacob has the mega uber massive chunky book that's like 2 feet long.
Oh, I really liked... I wish we had more Spider-Man stuff, because I really liked it when he had a first encounter with Peter Parker, and and Phil is trying to tell his buddy Jonah Jameson, that like Spider-Man's a good guy, because they've been doing this whole thing since they were in the 30s, and trying to tell him, no, this is like a good dude and whatever. And Peter Parker comes in like, yeah, I got some pictures of Spider-Man and he looks like a little chump. Even though he's literally talking about himself, and Phil has no idea that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same person. So he's like, oh, if I was Spider-Man, I'd beat the shit out of both of them. It's just so funny to me. I liked it.
I think the reason why... I just figured out why I struggle with this book a little bit is because it covers all the old school Marvel stuff.
It's a lot of stuff you haven't read, right?
Right, exactly. So it's like, I am not a stranger to comics, but there's still a bunch of stuff in here that I'm unfamiliar with because it's the old stuff. So I guess that's my negative half star, is that's where it loses me, but the rest of it is masterpiece.
I love how he draws Spider-Man. It's like he's red and black, and there's like barely any blue in the black, even though when the light's really, really shining hard on his suit, it looks somewhat blue, but his costume's initially just like black and red. I have a problem with his Galactus.
Meaning?
And I realize that I have a problem with Galactus in a certain sense. If you really think about him, if you look at him, imagine him like our height, normal height, like a human's height. He looks goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, poses like that, he looks great. But there's a pose, if you go back, where he's like, it's a top-down view of him in the street. Or wait, it's this way, sorry.
Yeah, he has funny proportions. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, that's how Kirby drew him.
Right.
Although, admittedly, Kirby's original design was red and green.
Ew.
It was really bad. So we just don't talk about that. The purple and blue one is classic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that looks so weird to me.
He's got a big fat head.
It's not his head, it's the helmet.
Well, if you take the helmet off, he still has a massive noggin.
Not exactly. That's not what it looks like. But I don't know. I love Galactus. I love Galactus as a character. But he just kind of looks strange in this comic to me. In that photo, at least. Like, you can't really draw him from that, like, view. You have to draw him, like, views from that, where it's like he's huge in the distance and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed this comic. It was a lot of fun. Good read. I do really like reading Philip's take on stuff. Oh shit, I skipped a page. Oh yeah, I skipped a page.
This was my favorite issue. The Fantastic Four fighting Galactus, because it looks so cool. It's like every other page is a full-frame artwork piece. And
Yeah.
it just lets Alex Ross do his thing, and it's beautiful.
I believe I mentioned this when I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, but the fact that the final issue, like the death of like Purity
Stacy.
in like the Marvel universe being Gwen Stacy's death, because it was just so like almost unnecessarily tragic, was a really good way to end it.
And I like that he realized that he's old and he's been inside of this whole like world for too long, that he can't like make something optimistic out of it. And the kid that he's been training, it's like, well, you've been working with me for a good amount of time now, so I think you should take this over. You should do the optimistic stuff and blah blah blah, and I need to retire. And I really liked that, because not a lot of old people realize that about themselves, or they need to stop and retire.
How much you pay for
I
book?
paid $10.
$10?
$10.
Wow.
$10 at Stairway to Heaven Comics.
Nice.
Because it was on the used rack.
We both have old versions of the book.
Yeah. Very
Nice.
nice. Very nice.
Have you looked into the remastered version for me? Because
No.
I can't find anything.
No, sir, I have not. What am I, your fucking secretary?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, you actually are.
Fine, I'll put my legs up and file my nails and chew gum at your desk.
Hot.
Ew.
Just make sure to shave your legs.
No. Nice try.
So you know how a couple of weeks ago I read the Black Label book Suicide Squad Get Joker?
Yeah.
And I was pretty unimpressed by it.
This did not please Jacob.
No, not stonks.
So what you're about to do is you found something really good that did the same thing but better, right? Maybe? Maybe?
I really want to say no, but yes, that's exactly where I was going. I read Justice League versus Suicide Squad. It came out in 2017. I have the hardcover collection edition. It has a bunch of like one-offs and stuff mixed in. I'm not gonna go through everything included, but it's mostly written by Josh Williamson and Tim Seeley. And there's a whole page of artists and colorists and letterers, and they should all be called out. I'm sorry, I suck. The Suicide Squad is sent on a mission, and
To get Joker?
no.
To get jokered.
I don't even remember what they were doing. I don't remember why they were there, but they were on an island and they were trying to prevent an earthquake or something, because a villain was he had the earthquake machine and he was like, I'm gonna do it! So they were trying to stop him, and then the Justice League shows up because they catch word about an earthquake that's gonna happen or something, and they think the Suicide Squad is to blame, so they start fighting. And then the Justice League gets captured by Amanda Waller.
Oh no!
But the plot twist is, and how the series ends, is that what's his face from Wonder Woman 84, frickin' Maxwell Lord, has brought back the original Suicide Squad. They were locked up underground and buried in a hole, and
Whoa.
he got them all together.
The squad.
The original squad. So Rustum, Lobo, Emerald Empress, Dr. Polaris, and Johnny Sorrow.
Hot.
To come back and get the purple rock that is the power to the life, the universe, and everything. And Maxwell Lord is gonna rule the world. So it's big, it's ridiculous, it's fun. And that's the point. I had a lot of fun with this. And it was
Ridiculous.
a much better story than the other Suicide Squad book I read lately, because there was actually good action and there were good story points. Like Amanda Waller is a shitty person and might reap a reward or two because of it.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
What a concept. I thought she was such a nice
There's
queen boss lady.
consequences to actions in this book, and I like it.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Come sentences.
Come.
How much you pay?
$30. $30 is the cover price, and that's how much I spent because there's a new comic store in Dover, New Hampshire, and I went in there to check it out and try to blast them with some of our propaganda, and it was too small and I didn't follow through with it, so I bought a book instead.
Nice.
Yes.
Colin, are you going to share with the class?
No, it's your
No.
turn.
We're going 3?
Yeah.
No, it's your turn.
No, I mean the tits he just saw.
Oh.
I can see you. I see you over there. He went...
Yeah, I saw titties.
So, do you guys want to hear about a streaming show, which is an adaptation of a series about time-traveling
No.
kiddos?
Talking about
No.
Paper Girls?
Or do you want to hear about a streaming service adaptation of a story about time-traveling kiddos? I got 2 of them.
I'll go the second one.
I want a streaming services adaptation of a comic book story of time traveling pedos. Because that's what it sounded like you said in the second one. Kiddos or pedos? I'm like, let's go with the pedos.
That's what I chose too.
Okay, so I'm going to save that for later then. So I am rewatching The Umbrella Academy. So season 1 came out in 2020. It's a Netflix show. Basically, you get these kids. These kids were born... I was looking directly at your asshole. Come on.
I give you a kiss.
Oh, Colin.
I bring you a kiss from my butthole.
So there's like 47 kids born on this day in 88 who were from mothers who did not do the do. They just randomly popped out a baby.
Lovecrafty and shit.
Yeah, something like that. There are 7 of them that were adopted by Sir Reginald Hargreaves. We have seven special kiddos, but we pretend like one of them isn't special for plot reasons and stuff. So we have number 1, who's Luther. He is big, strong leader man. Number 2 is Diego. He is knife-controlling, throwable,
Love him.
rip-off Batman with autism.
Yeah.
Fuck, who's number... Is Klaus number 3? Or is he 4?
I thought the
Wait,
girl
no.
was 3.
Then we have Allison, who's number 3. She can make you do stuff with her voice. Then number 4 is Klaus, who can commune with the dead.
I heard a rumor.
I'm gonna kill you if I hear that fucking phrase
Wait, no,
one more time.
I think what's her face is 6.
Well, I was gonna make it a joke, and you
No.
guys keep talking over me!
I heard a rumor.
Colin couldn't fart anymore.
Anyways, all these special kiddos, when they were younger, they were put together to be a team. They were the Umbrella Academy. They wore schoolboy shorts and tall socks. Through various events through their childhood, they were... one of them was killed, Ben, who now basically lives in Klaus's head because Klaus can see the dead. So he just talks to Ben all the time. And then Luther goes off to the moon. The rest of the team end up separating over time. And then number 7... so for the sake of simplicity, I will continue using Vanya when speaking of season 1 and 2. And then we have Vanya, who's number 7. She has no powers that we know of, but this season is really about the fact that she's actually the most powerful, and she had her powers suppressed through various means because Hargreaves was scared shitless. Pretty much, it's a very convoluted show, but it handles all of its weird subject matters in a way that makes for a really entertaining watch. The chemistry between the actors, I think, is really, 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 really what sells it. The character interactions and the what genuinely feels like sibling conversations are really, really good between all the characters. The funny dynamics between all of the cast members are great. It has enough silly edginess. So the original comic that this was based off of was written by Gerard Way, who is the front man for My Chemical Romance. It's super, 14-year-old edgy, but in a way that I like. It's not too much, where it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a really musical show. They use a lot of needle drops in a very effective way, I think. What the fuck are you guys looking at?
Nothing.
The action is all...
So, Spencer, you
No.
get cranky.
Yeah, and?
Boobies!
You've never seen a She-Hulk cover in your life.
No, I have. It's just I love to look at them when they come up on my For You page.
Basically, they're trying to stop the apocalypse. The action is really fun. Number 5, their brother had disappeared when he was a child. He time traveled into the future, lived in the apocalypse, became a time-traveling assassin, all sorts of shenanigans. Now he's an old 55-year-old man shoved into a 12-year-old boy body. So he's cranky, drinks coffee, but he looks like a child. It's very funny.
He also drinks, like, hardcore liquor.
Also true.
He is what I picture as the response to the "listen here, you little shit" meme.
Yeah, pretty much. The action in season 1, I think, is pretty good. I was kind of surprised. The CG is all really solid for the most part, including full CG characters. I don't know. I dig it. I really, really like season 1. I had read the books like 4 or 5 years ago. I liked them, but they weren't, from what I can remember. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind at the time to like really get into them, but I thought the show was a really good adaptation of a lot of the plot points from the series. But just remixing them in a different order. I don't know. This is one of Netflix's best adaptations by a long shot. What the fuck are you looking at?
Don't worry, just keep going. I'm listening.
Umbrella Academy season 1, much good.
What would you rate it? Out of Rubber Duckies.
Out of Rubber Duckies? 2 Space Boys out of 3 Rubber Duckies.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I like the fact that they aged up the characters a little bit from the book, so they have a little bit less teenage angst going on. For some reason, it all despite the fact that everyone is like a man baby, pretty much, they all have like stupidly serious trauma problems. It never really comes across as really like insincere or like overly dramatic. And for a show based on a bunch of people dealing with parental problems, and they're all related, but they're not related. It sounds like soap opera shit, and it doesn't get too close to that for the most part. For my liking, it's still fun to watch.
I loved season 1.
Season 1's really good at that, and I, in particular, especially on rewatch, I really, really like how they handled Vanya in season 1. Whereas originally, watching it, she's basically the main character for the most part. Slightly larger percentage of plot in comparison to the rest of the characters, because she's so boring, frankly. During most of the season, on initial watch, it can be kind of bland. And then when the reveal happens that, like, she's on, like, super hardcore drugs and her memory's been wiped and all this sort of fun stuff, it makes a lot more sense. And then as soon as she has that taken away, the performance goes up, like, many notches. It's a really, really good twist and, like, character turn into a far more interesting person.
The comics did her reveal really well, too. Like, really, really well.
Yeah. Big win.
It's interesting that you did 3 Rubber Duckies instead of 7.
Out of 7, 7 Rubber Duckies, 6 Space Boys. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I do think the show kind of peaked quality-wise with season 1.
Yeah! Told you.
I'm not talking about the rest of them yet, but I really like the rest of the show so far, but it has, like, better moments and better set pieces, but, like, the cohesiveness of season 1 really sells it. Collina.
Oh my fucking word.
We're doing 3?
Third one.
We always do 3. We do 2 when we have a show.
Crap. I forgetted.
You fucking retards. Are you guys this fucking retarded?
I've had a busy week.
Talk about.
You were all like, I'm just so ready to go, man. Ooh, yeah. That's what you said like 2 days ago.
No.
Give me a question.
I have been doomer all week. Just like strung out, overtired, overstressed. And I've taken up smoking.
I'm about to say, excuse me.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I'm so sorry. That's ripe. That is ripe. Oh, that's a good one. I almost took up smoking this week.
So you got the douche flute instead.
Yes, he did.
I did, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's rough.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's useful for the nicotine.
Don't do it.
I figured I was going to get one that's just nicotine because, like, for some reason the flavors, they're giving me like a weird.
They're gross.
They're giving me a weird sensation in my nose. Mm-hmm. It's like having a bad taste in your mouth, but your nose.
Yeah, it's almost like that shit doesn't belong in there.
And so I just wanted to get just one that's nicotine. I thought I could get one that's just nicotine, no flavors, but I was wrong.
I want you to pitch me a story about any Marvel or DC character or group of characters, and I want you to tell me the creative team that you want. Just the writer and artist. Like a light premise. And I'm going to have you do the same thing, because you don't look like you have something.
No, I've got a good idea. I gotta get an artist, though.
I'm trying to find a character. I already have the artist and writer. I'm just trying to find a character.
A few moments later.
Oh! A story. A 12-issue story about Mr. Terrific, written by Tom King and drawn by Mitch Gerard. They already have the character drawn and in a story.
True.
But have him on his own story, his own run that's not connected to that, but just have still the same elements of like his backstory from that, and make into a 12-issue comic book series.
I'm definitely down. They're a great creative pair.
I've never been interested in Mr. Terrific until that.
They're like their like public shenanigans, like all the weird Riddler tattoo stuff.
It's like they're best friends or something.
I know, right?
Just like hanging out.
It's so funny.
I missed his pitch because I was working on mine. I want at least 12 issues of Fantastic Four, written by Donny Cates and done. Ooh. I was gonna say Jock, but he does like really like charcoal work, and I don't want that. I want like the rough Wolverine artwork, like in the
Andrea Sorrentino.
Old Man Logan stuff, like kind of edgy, but.
Wait, who? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Who is it about?
Fant Four Stick.
What?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a good pick.
I want Donny Cates to do it because I want crazy space adventures, not boring Fantastic Four drama shit in the tower. Like, that's only been my only experience, and also a little bit of time travel. But I want like them to go Deep Space Nine, freaking Cosmic Ghost Rider guest appearance. Like, go crazy.
So
out in space.
Do you want the original 4 lineup? Do you want the 4 plus the 2 kids? Do you want the 4 plus the 2 kids plus the robot?
The 2 kids annoy me.
Really?
I want the original 4.
Interesting. Did you pick an artist? Do you have a name? I need the name.
Collin Eaton.
No, Collin.
Yeah, that wouldn't come out for another 5 years.
At least.
That's just to get the cover.
Fuck you.
The name, Mason.
I'm
What does it
working
mean?
on it.
Bob Ross.
Oh my god. Could you imagine him making comic art?
That would be so funny.
That would probably be pretty good.
Dude, Bob Ross and Alex Ross are brothers.
No, they're not.
They're literally brothers. They both paint, dude.
You're
brothers.
retarded. You're dumb.
They're obviously in the same family.
Who does this stupid series? Holy crap.
The Old Man Logan that you're currently doing?
Yeah.
It's Andrea Sorrentino, I think. I don't remember how to say their last
see
name.
her name on here, though. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I'm turning into Collin.
You know, if you just get the normal Wikipedia page for the book, it always has that info. The fandom pages don't always have that
there's
shit.
so many Old Man Logans. Yep, there she is. Sorrentino.
I can see that.
Like you say. Because it's like... It's shaded enough. It's dark enough, but it's not like... It's not like...
All shadow.
Batman done with charcoal. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of Batman done with all charcoal by Jock, One Dark Knight is almost wrapped up. I'm looking forward to that coming out.
I thought it was.
I think the 3rd issue just came out. It's
Yeah.
not out in book form yet. When I say wrapped, I mean released so I can read it.
Yeah. I talked about that with Rich, actually. I was like, I really like the Black Label hardcovers, but I really hate waiting for them to be collected because it takes so long for them to release the single issues. So it's like a year and a half later that I can finally read the freaking thing. Just give me the freaking issues. I want to read this story.
Yes.
Speaking of, Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire. You still gotta do your third, you turd. I'm rolling with it anyway. We can plug them wherever we want. Jetpack
Yeah, we can put that plug everywhere.
is super cool. They support the show. We support them financially. And emotionally, maybe?
Yes,
We
definitely
go in there and talk with them quite a bit.
We supported Ralph emotionally on the boat.
I think they support us emotionally.
Something like that.
Okay. They have comics and games and toys and collectibles and anything else that you could want. Please check them out. Also, Rich is super cool.
Yes.
Daddy.
Daddy. I hope he never hears this.
That'd be so fucking
He has
bad.
introduced me to his wife. I do not want to have to deal with this.
Oh my god.
Okay, sorry. I take the daddy back. I mean, father.
Yeah, there we go. Father.
Okay, so
Father, I have shitted myself. You know Collin is doing that next time he goes in there.
Father, I have shitted myself.
that's if Collin has the.
Father, I crave violence.
That's like no. That's implying Collin has like the gall to say
that's-
something like that in front
What?
of people that aren't us.
What's that?
Well, because their bathroom isn't public, so I can see it.
I've used the public bathroom quite a few times, but I've never shitted because that's rude.
I can see it. Collin will just be like, Father, I have shitted myself. Can I please use the employee bathroom?
Oh my gosh, that makes you laugh because that's how I imagined myself as a kid. Like I know when I was a kid, I was like I pooped, but like whenever I think about myself talking to my dad and I like shit myself, I'm like, Father, I have shitted my pants. I did shitted myself a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you did. On air.
Yeah.
Spencer, what's your third and final talking point?
So I read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I've been waiting for this book to come out as a book for like a couple of months now. The series wrapped in 2021. It's an 8-issue miniseries written by Tom King with pencils by Bilquis Evely, I believe is how you say your name. It is a limited series. So it starts off with the main character is Ruth. She is a rock farmer. She's like a 13-year-old girl maybe. Her father is killed by a dude from their planet who's like a bishop, kind of like an agent of the king who goes into the countryside to make raunchy jokes about the king and then see who laughs at them to kill them, pretty much.
Biggest dickus?
Yeah,
Biggest.
pretty much. So he kills her father, leaves his sword in the body as like a taunt, I guess. She gets the sword, she wants to find him and go on a revenge quest, and she happens to bump into Supergirl, Kara El, who is on this planet because it's near a red sun, so she can get trashed for her 21st birthday.
Yeah!
Because she is finally 21 now.
Goals.
Kara has been young for quite a while. And because they, like, Kryptonians under a yellow sun can't, like, get drunk. Like, so she goes across the entire galaxy to find a red solar system. And she's just at this bar getting trashed because Supergirl has trauma, in case you didn't know.
Whoa, really?
Yeah,
Wait, Superman got drunk once.
it's rare. It's tricky.
Oh, it's because it was like mixed with drugs.
You
I
need
think,
you
or
need
something.
plot armor for that. This is how she did it. So she has Crypto right now. She has Crypto the Superdog in her custody, just chilling.
Thought you meant cryptocurrency.
No,
I was
the
like, what
Doge.
does that have to do
The
with
Doge.
anything?
The Doge is her bestie right now. So she's out there. This girl talks to her and is like, "Hey, I want your help. I need you to kill this guy because I can't do it, but I'll give you the sword when you do it." And it basically turns into Supergirl bringing this girl across the galaxy under the basically false promise of killing this man, but along the way teaching this girl how vengeance is cringe. By going to, they go to like 6 different planets. They see multiple like genocides. They do a bunch of mystery solving. They go on a planet, which I don't remember the name of it. It was one that Superman had been trapped on. It has a yellow, kryptonite sun, basically.
Vengeance is cringe, saith the Lord.
Yes. It has a green sun, so you have to, the entire,
What?
Jesus Christ.
That was a funny joke.
The sun is kryptonite, so like you can't leave as a Kryptonian. Like you're dying, you're slowly being poisoned until nighttime. Superman got trapped on the planet and was saved 45 minutes later by the Justice League and nearly died.
Nice.
Kara stays there for like 10 hours, and she calls Superman a pussy, basically, when she leaves. It's really funny. She's just like, yeah, he was a bitch. So it's a bunch of slightly disjointed adventures of them going about trying to find this man to quote-unquote kill him. And it goes into a lot of Kara's backstory about, it was somewhat well-known stuff. She's actually older than Kal-El, but time displacement and stuff. She was like a 12-year-old, I believe, on Krypton, but when it blew up, she was part of like a refugee asteroid, kind of, a small city that broke off of Krypton and managed to live, but that thing started getting wiped out by kryptonite cancer poisoning. Just all sorts of crazy stuff. It's basically about her having like insane amounts of perseverance, and about the fact that she's not Superman. She doesn't have patience. Like, she is beauty, she is grace, but she wants to kill a motherfucker, pretty much.
That doesn't rhyme.
That's the point. She doesn't care about rhyming.
She is beauty. She is grace. She'll shit on your face.
I think it's Sid, but okay.
It's a really, 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 really beautiful story. The art is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how to describe the art. It's very vibrant. There's a lot of like very diverse planet environments. There's a lot of different weather and lighting conditions.
Booba.
Not really.
Collin is the monkey sitting at the table going, "Where Booba?
See, you're thinking of Power Girl.
Where Booba?"
She also has... Oh, wait, no, she's hips. Like how Babs is hips.
So
you need a bonk like nobody's business.
The story pretty much ends with them capturing this man. Oh, he also almost killed Crypto by shooting him with an arrow because stuff, just a whole bunch of stuff. Kara, like, she basically lies to get Ruth to come with her. She's like, I will totally do this thing you want me to do. I need to find him to save my dog. When in reality, like, the dog's fine. Which was a big plot twist that hurt my balls at the end. I was like, I thought you killed Crypto, the fucking super dog. I was about to, like, throw the book out the window. So at the end, they have this man, like, tied up. They're in full confrontation mode. And Supergirl gets really close to killing him. She is just done with all of this crap. She's gone through so many planets, seen so many different types of genocides and like interpersonal murders. One of the nicest parts of this book was her actually helping a man on a planet dig graves after like a slaughter. She used her super speed to dig like thousands of graves. She put all the bodies in them, and she's like, hey, like, let me know if you want them adjusted or anything. Like, just take a look to make sure I did it right. She helped this man find his daughter who died on the battlefield by like using her eyes to find like the girl's DNA. It's a really sweet moment. And in the end, Ruth actually holds Kara back from killing this guy, and they put him in the Phantom Zone because it's a Superman adjacent book. They have to go in the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
I did not expect to like this book as much as I did. I don't mind Supergirl. I've never been super interested in Kara innately. What?
That's what I had stuck in my head, so I had to play it.
I like the character, but I've never bumped into a writer who's really like handled her very well. She has a very different background to Superman, and she is not her cousin. And that's one of the biggest things in this book that she's trying to deal with, is the fact that everyone has beef with Superman, and they're like, oh, you're his cousin? I'm gonna try to kill you. And then she just doesn't like fuck around with that shit. She just like backhands him across the room. Just doesn't want to put up with it. I don't know. The writing was really nice. There is a lot of voiceover bubbles from Ruth. I think a little bit too much. It can clutter the page, and it's intentionally cyclical. Every time a new issue comes, they go to a new planet. It's supposed to be like that, but sometimes it's just a lot. And it might be mildly pretentious. Tom King can sometimes border on like a little too pretentious for his own good. Sometimes. But the art is beautiful. The character designs are really cool. They're really consistent. One of the things I've been trying to keep an eye on lately is how like consistent facial models are between panels, and this book is really consistent. The characters' proportions are done extremely well. Kara is beautiful. Not even in like like a hot way. Like she's gorgeous. It's a really cool design. Of course, it's got the mini skirt and the tall boots going on.
Yes.
Long sleeves with the pointy little sleeves that go over the hand. I like those.
I like the points
They're
over
nice.
the hands.
It's just a story about a girl and a dog, and I dug it like a lot. This is one of my favorite books of this year so far by like a wide margin, especially one that actually came out recently, not just
one of by a wide margin.
So we got this Department of Truth book 1. What are some other ones off the top of my head? Like there's a few. They're in the 5 out of 5 like mega uber good.
Okay.
And then I've read a lot of really good ones this year, but major criticisms could be had, you know?
Yes.
Too short, too long, stupid character shouldn't have been there, you know, something like that. This is going to end up definitely in like my top 5 by the end of the year.
Excellent.
Uber good.
Wow.
You know what else is uber good?
Jeff Lawrence.
Jeff Lawrence, one of our patrons from patreon.com/dimecomicbros. If you want to financially support us and get us to simp over you all the time and call you by your name.
I like how you say one of our patrons, as if we have more than one.
Yeah, we used to have more than one.
We used to have 4!
And then people bailed, but such is life.
We had 4.
We did.
We had 4.
If you want to get shouted out on every episode, get access to this podcast a couple days early, get exclusive access to clips and segments from all of our shows that we get, you know, taken off because they're too spicy.
Too spicy!
Or...
Too spicy!
Yes. And get access to Dime Comic Bros Happy Hour, which is the second companion podcast to this podcast, where as soon as this is done, we turn the air conditioner back on, we get the room temperature back down, because it's a little hot in here. Then we crack open a drink, we hang out, we talk about random stuff. Sometimes it's superheroes, sometimes it's just us gushing about the Batman again.
Drinkies.
Sometimes we talk about drinkies. And mostly it's just stupid insanity.
I have a full docket for this week. I'm
Dear
very excited.
Lord Almighty, this is going to be a banger episode, so please do go check it out on patreon.com/dimecomicbros.
Written down a joke that I was going to use for the cold open, and then I shared it with someone, and they thought it was too spicy, so I'm saving it for happy hour.
Oh boy. I also have a good cold open. I'm opening up a fresh bottle of liquor, so I got to get that first pop.
Nope.
Boom. It's always that weird, thick echo. Anyways, that podcast is exclusively on Patreon. You can also get sketches done by Collin, other things, many silly things on Patreon. If you would like to give us money, please and thank you. We're poor. We don't even have a light on right now. It's dark in here.
And
We couldn't even afford air conditioning. We're baking.
I'm kind of concerned about how dark it is because it is midday and my windows are open.
Fuck yeah, dude. Give us the rain. You should probably put your windows down, though. All the way. Fill up your car like a swimming pool.
Yes.
Go check out our social medias, Twitter and Instagram, for updates, memes, and all sorts of crazy stuff. As previously stated, we are partnered with Jetpack Comics and Games in Rochester, New Hampshire. Go check them out. Send them all of our love. Do not try to use the employee bathroom unless you are an employee.
The
or
password is Father, I have shitted myself, and they let you use it. It's okay.
Sure. Next week, we will be discussing Fantastic Four from 2005, so tune in for that insanity.
Yeah.
Michael Chiklis, Datang, baby, it's clobbering time. Stop shitting!
Premiere.
You're gonna die.
Tell Wesley
It's not Wesley.
It
It's
is
never
Wesley.
Wesley.
to
What?
to touch grass. And
Wesley
eat ass.
physically can't touch grass.
And eat ass. I understand why you're stressed all the time now. It's because your phone battery is never charged.